As we have seen in the previous lectures, the social community around us plays an important role in the construction of our self-image and self-identity. This community has the role of sounding board, providing us feedback that helps us to order and give meaning to the events we encounter. In the past, this sounding board was a select group of people from our immediate surroundings. This resulted in a one-dimensional clear self-image and view on the world. The changing Western society has become more individualistic, and the Web 2.0 has filled the gap that arose in our social community, as we tell more and more of our narratives online. The sounding board that we use to give meaning to our experiences has become larger and more versatile. Therefore, the feedback we receive on our narratives has also become more diverse. We receive feedback regardless of whether we've asked for it or not. This results in a multidimensional self-image. People will still create a dominant plot narrative, but this is more nuanced. Events are evaluated more carefully and receive more attention, even those that are not part of the dominant plot narrative. This makes it easier to alter one's self-image in a later stage, making the self-image more dynamic. However, the individualism and change in our sounding board also have some downsides. First of all, the feedback we receive is often not fine-tuned to the addressee, since a lot of people will react who don't actually know this person. This results in feedback that might say a lot more about the dominant plot narrative of the sender than of the receiver. Therefore, the receiver might discard a lot of the obtained feedback without using it. A second disadvantage of these changes is that people are often active on different social media websites. This can result in a fragmentation of one's self-identity. For example, my LinkedIn profile shows a more professional side of me, whereas my Facebook profile focuses on the leisure activities and interests. As they take different angles on my life, they only highlight certain aspects of me and fail to paint an accurate and complete picture. In everyday life, however, we may not be so successful at hiding facets of our personality or lifestyles. If I were to arrive at work with a hangover, I might try to disguise it, but I'm still that person who likes to go clubbing, even though my LinkedIn profile does not reveal this side of me. This fragmentation of self-identity may become problematic if one's sounding board is largely online. It becomes more difficult to integrate all the feedback on different narratives into one dominant plot narrative. On a more positive note, the opportunity to choose which information you disclose in an online environment can also be an advantage. As discussed in the previous lecture, in online communication, people get the chance of showing their true self or even their ideal self. Narratives that are more genuine and close to the true self are also closer related to one's dominant plot narrative. Therefore, the feedback about these narratives are of higher value. Narratives that reflect one's ideal self might help a person in altering his dominant plot narrative or giving direction to future development of this dominant plot narrative. People will receive feedback about the desirability of this ideal self and how realistic this ideal self actually is. As we have seen in this lecture, the changes in our society and the rise of Web 2.0 have both advantages and disadvantages. Either way, it is important to realize that it changes the construction of our self-narrative and that we should evaluate this critically.